Tesla shares having a rough week after the NHTSA announced an investigation into the company's autopilot system. But tonight is AI day for Tesla, and investors will be watching for any special announcements that could boost the stock. Joining us now is Gene Munster, managing partner at Loop, and Gordon Johnson, GLJ Research CEO and founder. I talked about this interview earlier. I was excited. Gene Munster is actually channeling, I think, who was it? Donald Rumsfeld, who said there's things you know, there's things you know you don't know, and then there's things you don't even know you don't know. And that makes it exciting for what Tesla might say. But after I read your first sentence, Gordon, I just got to start with this, and then I'm going to go hide. But this is how you start. This is unbelievable. And get ready for some emails. I'm going to give out your address. The last 5 Tesla days were littered with false promises that never came true, and in many cases, outright lies and deception. And then you go over the history. Can you talk about your premise there and some of the recent days that back up what is pretty incendiary, what I just said?
Yeah, so thanks for having me on. So my question is, why should we believe anything that's going to be said at AI Day 2 when all the prior days were defined by complete fabrications or something close? So let me get into the specifics. Battery Day. So at Battery Day, they introduced the 4680 cell structure. By the way, no battery introduced. They said they were going to have a 500-mile Model S Plaid this year, which we now know that right before it was launched, they canceled. And they talked a lot about the Semi, the Tesla Semi that was introduced in 2017, and the Cybertruck, which they've recently delayed. So a lot of promises made, nothing kept. Let's go to Autonomy Day number 1, where Elon Musk said they were going to be at level 5 autonomy in 2020 and have 1 million robo-taxis on the road in 2020. We now know that there's not one robo-taxi on the road, and we also know via a Freedom of Information Act request, at the same time he was saying that to his investors, his lawyers were telling the California DMV they're only at level 2. So another promise made, not kept. Let's go to Neuralink Day, where they put a chip in a pig's brain and gave a lot of sick people hope that they were going to be fixed, right? MIT reviewed that and basically referred to that as, quote, theater. And then the best of all, Solar Roof Day, where they had a fake solar panel on the set of Desperate Housewives, a fake house, which they used to sell the Solar City acquisition to Tesla shareholders. In fact, it's so fake, there's an ongoing lawsuit that alleges fraud was used. So in all prior days, we see that effectively there's promises made that they either, in our view, know that they can't meet or never meet. And we think, given that history, Autonomy Day number 2 will probably be something similar.
What do you want to respond to, Gene? Any of the past, or you're optimistic we may hear some things that people aren't expecting? Why don't you go into the bullish case for positive things that you might hear that people aren't expecting?
Well, maybe just a little bit on Gordon's comments. Gordon is accurate, is that the company has often given expectations, Elon has, that they haven't met. And I think that that is a statement of fact. However, there is truth to what they're doing, and I would describe it as this. It is not pure fabrication. What happens at these events, this is not vaporware. This is real technology, and ultimately is the company does have a history of being late, years late, but ultimately delivering on the promises of what these events have held. And so time will tell. So I think that the truth is somewhere in between. I do believe that Tesla's success, their market share, whether it's declining or increasing, is several-fold greater than the closest competitor, at least in the U.S. I think that does speak that this is real. And so, Joe, to quickly answer your question, today is AI Day is essentially, it's a sequel to Autonomy Day from 2019. This is important because autonomy is the substance of course, the future of vehicles. And I suspect that they will say that it's 2 years away. It's probably 5 years away. But it doesn't change the fact that eventually all cars will be autonomous. And I do note that Tesla is having Autonomy Day. We don't hear Autonomy Day from Ford and GM and from Toyota. I think that it is safe to say is that Tesla continues to advance faster than other car companies and should be rewarded on valuation.